The Native Americans thought they got away. They thought they got away, but guess what? I'm on your ass. I'm on your motherfucking ass. Listen, y'all are not ready for this one. And at this point, y'all gonna have to start paying me for these ass whoopings. Y'all gonna have to start paying me. This is my Cash App. So the Native Americans don't understand why Walter Plecker was so important to our history, and I'm going to explain it to you today. For those who don't know who Walter Plecker is, we're going to go over it, but he was a major factor in the Racial Integrity Act of 1924. He is actually the person who was designated as the head of the Bureau of Vital Statistics in the state of Virginia. Now, the Native Americans are still wondering, why is he so important? Have y'all hit that Cash App yet? Walter Ashby Plecker, you did your big one, my boy. You did, but I caught your ass. Walter Plecker was a OBGYN to start with. He took a special interest in delivering babies, educating midwives, developing a simple use-at-home incubator, and working to reduce by half the 5% birth mortality rates among the poor. He also kept records to search for ways to improve birthing, a goal made more difficult by the fact that most people were born and unalived at home. Y'all stay with me. Stay with me. It says in 1912, Virginia lawmakers established the Bureau of Vital Statistics. That is where you get your birth certificates from. And designated Plecker to serve as its head. Are you staying with me? The Bureau ensured that from 1912 onward, all babies born in Virginia received birth certificates, and that the certificates included racial designations, usually supplied by the midwives who delivered the babies. Remember, all babies were born at home prior to birth certificates being administered. Once the birth certificates started to become administered, that's when babies started to become or being birthed at hospitals. Plecker's goal as registrar were initially laudable. He kept midwives under close supervision to make sure their procedures were sanitary. When Virginia passed the Racial Integrity Act of 1924, however, the focus of his scrutiny changed from hygiene to racial classification. I'm so excited, y'all. I cannot hold it. During the 1920s, Plecker became an advocate for the pseudoscientific claims of eugenics. Do y'all know what Eugenics argued that racial and genetic purity resulted in a more stable society. I am not through with you. The Racial Integrity Act of 1924 is what we're talking about now. The legislation prohibited whites from marrying non-whites and explicitly defined racial classifications. The term white person shall only apply to such persons as has no trace whatsoever of any blood other than Caucasian. Now let's pause. And now I might have to do a part 2, because remember, ancient and modern Caucasoid populations were thus not exclusively white. I'm on y'all ass. All others were colored. In addition, the law asks people to voluntarily register their racial identity with the Bureau of Vital Statistics, making the falsification of one's racial identity or color on marriage license or birth certificate a felony offense punishable by up to 1 year in prison. Stay with me. Are y'all ready for this? Concerned that mixed-race Virginians would attempt to pass as white, Plecker personally communicated warnings to some new mothers. For example, in 1924, he informed a new white mother that her child's father was in fact Negro and not white. This is to give you a warning that this is a mulatto child, and you cannot pass it off as white. The Racial Integrity Act allowed for one exception to the definition of white person, because many eminent white Virginians believed themselves to be the descendants of Pocahontas and John Rolfe. The law allowed for those who had 1/16 or less of the blood of the American Indian and have no other non-Caucasian blood to deem to be white persons. Plecker feared that this loophole encouraged mixed-race Virginians who had an interest in passing as white to claim as they were Indians. That's not the good part. He therefore determined that there are no native-born Virginian Indians free from Negro intermixture. According to Plecker, and through him the Commonwealth of Virginians, all Indians were now colored. And now we're going to lead to the Civil Rights Act of 1968, because it says this put Virginian Indians in a bind, perhaps owing to a recognition of the oppressed status of blacks. Indians did not want to be classified as colored. Y'all like this, share this, send this to everybody. We about to do a part 2 now.